Siegfried and Roy, masters of the impossible. This is a thing that happened. And it was so hard to find information on this, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only DVD copy in existence. For those of you who don't know, Siegfried and Roy are a duo of magicians that used to perform in Las Vegas. Their acts would usually involve exotic white lions and tigers. As of 2010, they've retired from show business, but are still considered to be among the world's greatest magicians. And in 1996, someone decided to give them an animated movie for some reason. Well, magicians are charismatic and they know drama. Plus they got a tiger too, so maybe this could work. What the heck? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and take a look.
When the dust demons are swept from the hearth and the kindling's been set aplace, the mages sit by the fire and recall a once magic world called Sarmoti. A place of fairy queens and wishing wells, of unicorns, dragons, potions and spells. Ah, but Titan gods raged through Sarmoti one day, stealing all magic and powers away.
This is the same movie, right? I didn't put something else on by mistake? No, this is the right movie. God help us all. So we see Roy with his tiger Manticore running from something.
They are indeed insistent, are they not, Manticore? Jupiter, come quickly. I need you.
And apparently he can psychically communicate with a bird. I'd like to remind everyone that this is a movie based on two Las Vegas magicians. Who made this? I should have known. The same people that gave MC Hammer his own cartoon brought us this fine piece of literature.
Father, they head west to Phrygia.
If these tales be true, I would use this white tiger's ability for what I conspire this night. What King Midas wants, King Midas gets. Cha!
Yes, he said King Midas. One kind of interesting thing about this movie is that it borrows little pieces from fairy tales and other legends. I'm sure that won't become a clusterfuck. So they ride off on their mutant horses, but are being followed by some creature with eye nipples. I have nothing to add to that. We then cut to a town that makes Mos Eisley look like, I don't know, Cleveland? Where we meet Siegfried, who's a traveling magician, and his assistant, Rumpelstiltskin.
I'm Rumpelstiltskin, for crying in a puddle. And before the Year of Darkness, I had real magic. I didn't need to work like this. I practically invented turning straw into gold, you know. I used to be somebody. Oh!
I, for one, am looking forward to seeing his shenanigans for the rest of the movie. Roy shows up and hides Manticore in Siegfried's trunk while he goes into the pub. Oh no, Navi! Was life after Ocarina of Time so bad you had to resort to a life of crime?
Siegfried the Sensational, Lord of Illusion and Master Magician, at your service. Good, if not better than Merlin himself. And I do private...
I saw Merlin in the old days, and you're no Merlin. What you are is late. Now get on that stage.
Why, hello, Brad Garrett. I'm so sorry to hear you got caught up in this crap. Yeah, another thing about this movie is that it has a really great voice cast. For instance, Roy is voiced by Jeff Bennett. And the sad thing is, everyone in this dumb movie is clearly trying their best to make this work.
At the nearby hills there lies a site which might contain true sorcery. I searched for it myself this night. A place they call the Oracle of Phrygia.
You must stay away from there. Everyone knows the Oracle holds a power no mortal can control.
Only but the first of wasted talent we'll be hearing.
The gods are smiling on us tonight, Stills. I see a command performance at the local palace in our future.
Oh, wake up and smell the stale oats, Siegfried. We're 5 minutes away from doing boat shows with Wink and Blinkin' and Nod.
Literary humor. King Midas shows up and offers a reward for the capture of Manticore, but Siegfried's show starts and she's revealed, which causes a riot. The girl from the bar, who just happens to be King Midas's daughter, helps them and they get away into the forest.
Have you not conquered more land than can be traveled in a year? Amassed more riches than can be spent in a dozen lifetimes?
You have no right to speak to me that way, daughter. Go back to the castle. This is no place for you tonight.
If you open that oracle, its evil power could destroy us all!
Succeed in capturing that tiger tonight, son. And from the spot where you stand to the horizon will be yours. For with the oracle's secrets, the rest of Sarmoti will be mine. And if you try to stand in my way, you'd be better off sneaking away into the night, as your mother once did.
Ouch! Dick! Okay, so this movie is really confusing and full of weird stuff, so let me just explain what's going on. In this world, humans have had their magic powers taken away by the gods, because some gods are just dickish like that, remember? Roy's tiger Manticore was once some kind of magical creature that can shapeshift. When the magic was taken away, she became a normal tiger, but her magic half is imprisoned at a shrine that they were looking for. Meanwhile, everyone in the kingdom thinks Roy holds the secret to getting their magic back. So King Midas has been tracking him, because if he can get magic back to everyone, it'll increase his power and riches. Because, you know, he's King Midas. Everybody got that? Good. Then let's continue.
Dragon eggs be blessed.
What is it?
The better question is, who is this traveling stranger that you should be carrying the most important book in all of Sarmoti? The written record of all that transpired in the Year of the Darkness, as recorded by the last seer of Galen.
A titan crossing over from the realm of Edland.
Amazing! It's full of bad video transitions! Rumpelstiltskin turns traitor and leads Midas's son to the cave they were hiding in, and after another bad transition... Seriously, what's with all the dumb transitions in this movie? They're taken to the shrine to unleash its power, but Siegfried comes up with an escape plan.
Your brilliant way out of this is simply run?
Not simply run. We'll blow a few confetti bombs, spark poppers, and in the confusion, we run.
1, 2, 3! My lords and ladies. Siegfried has entered the Oracle of Phrygia. Siegfried!
I never measure right.
Okay, that was a little funny. Unfortunately, the explosion unleashes 3 evil spirits from the shrine, representing greed, avarice, and pride. Manticore's spirit is freed too, and she runs off after it.
You have done me a great service, foolish mortals. The powers of the Oracle are mine at last!
Hi, Charlie Adler. I see you got tricked into this as well. The spirit of pride possesses Midas's son. Oh god, he has full faces for nipples. You know, based on some of the designs, I feel like this movie started out as someone's nightmare. The spirit of greed possesses King Midas.
Gold can remain yours forever. What if all you touched turned to that most opulent commodity?
And Jim Cummings is here too. Well, it's not the only bad thing he's been in. He gives him the power to turn everything he touches into gold. Obviously. And I gotta admit though, the possession scene is kinda creepy. And the guy with the eye nipples and nose torso catches the spirit of avarice. By the way, do you want to know who that is? That's Loki, the trickster god from Norse mythology. Just one of many beloved fictional characters ruined by this movie. The villagers try to execute Siegfried and Roy because villagers are dumb, but Rumpelstiltskin helps them escape. Huh. I guess he was useful after all.
I gotta hand it to you. I never recognized our wagon till I saw the trap door.
This is not what I am about. Common thievery.
Don't burst your Boda bag, Roy. You'll get a cut. Half the reward was on your head.
Like liver spots, he will. When did Siegfried the Sensational become a charity show?
You're drooling on expensive leather.
And we're back to Michael Bay levels of storytelling. They continue their journey to wherever when the princess meets up with them. Does she have a name? I don't remember hearing it. Well, anyway, she wants them to help find a cure for Midas's golden touch.
I only seek what might save Manticore's life. She must be rejoined with Numa, her spirit side, or else she'll perish.
Then we'll go search for it together. We'll help you save your tiger. You help us save King Midas. And I'll let you be best man at my wedding.
You would make her marry you, wouldn't you?
She offered. I'm just...
Wait a minute, are Siegfried and Roy fighting over a woman? Okay, I was buying this until now, but come on. Back at the castle, Midas has discovered the golden touch has some drawbacks. Hey, do you know why gold is so valuable? It's because there's so little of it. So finding a way to produce more of it will slowly decrease its value. Keep that in mind in case any evil spirits try to trick you.
I brought the magicians!
Where's Stella?
Ah, so that's her name. Oh well, she's a gold statue now. Whoops. They discover a place that has magic water that might cure the golden touch, and they go off to get it. However, it's guarded by Medusa. Yeah, Medusa.
We could do the cloak of invisibility, Siegfried. Watch this closely. The magic is back. Ouch!
I'll handle this.
Or we could do the mysterious floating head trick and scare the snakeskin off her.
You do exactly what I say, and we might all make it out of this alive.
Okay, I can live with that.
Stilts, you're gonna get us killed. Just sit there and look silly for the kids that won't be watching this. They defeat Medusa by getting her to look at herself and get the water. Also, Manticore was her prisoner. For some reason. Whatever. They return to the kingdom to see a monster attacking the village. Turns out the prince, again I don't think I heard his name, made a deal with the monster to stage an attack so he can look more heroic or something. They get the water to King Midas, which banishes the spirit of greed from him and reverses his golden touch. He's about to cure Estella, but because this movie hates me, that monster swoops in and takes her away. God damn it! Well, off we go again, I guess. Meanwhile, Prince What's-His-Name meets some creepy guy at the tavern.
Hearsay on the cobblestones is you're a stranger who might be in need of a seeker.
Aw, Tony J, they got you too? So Tony J gives him some weird eyeball monster that lets him see where the magicians are. Because we need to make sure we see this great movie from as many angles as possible.
You want me to trust a gnome to lead the way to Estella? Forget it. This is my fiancée we're talking about, Stilt.
Oh, come on. She's just another girl. You've left a trail of broken hearts across the four corners of Sarmoti.
Sorry.
Remember when you dated Rapunzel?
Little man.
Hey! You leave Tangled out of this. The eyeball thing attacks them and they happen to fall down the hole where the monster lives. By the way, do you want to know who the monster is? You're never gonna believe this. That's supposed to be Grendel. From Beowulf. Well, I'll say this, he looks a lot better than he did in the Paramount movie. Let's just hope everyone keeps their clothes on. He stole the statue because his mother, sadly not portrayed by Angelina Jolie, is sick and he needs gold to cure her because that's what they eat. A species of giant whose one source of sustenance is one of the rarest metals on the planet. Why are they not extinct? They revert Estella back before he can melt her and promise Grendel that they can get him more gold if he helps them get the spirit of envy out of Prince What's-His-Name. Which they do by trapping it in a box. Every second that this movie goes on is 100 more brain cells that have been mercilessly assassinated.
These oracle stones are all that can contain me!
Oh, okay, well, now it makes sense. Okay, right about now is where this movie loses its goddamn mind. That's right, now is when this movie goes crazy. Loki shows up and absorbs all 4 spirits and kidnaps Manticore. Then through some more bad transitions, he goes to a place called Edland where the Titans live so he can take over. Of course, Siegfried and Roy manage to follow him and they discover King Midas's wife in one of the windows. How exactly they know who she is, I don't know, and nor do I care. But it turns out she didn't run off. She was kidnapped by Zeus so he can marry her. Yes, we're bringing Zeus into this. At this point, if your head is starting to hurt, don't worry. It's normal and it'll all be over soon.
We have found the court of the mighty Zeus himself.
Glad to see that Titan of the Month calendar is paying off for you, Roy.
Not funny!
I smell the blood of mortal men.
Hi, Maurice LaMarche. Was your rent due that week? Don't worry, I understand. Then Loki shows up to crash the wedding.
What childishness have you wrought on this, my wedding day?
Seeing as to how my invitation must have been lost in the mail, I thought I'd bring my wedding gift in person.
You know, it just occurred to me. This movie has Loki of Norse mythology fighting Zeus of Greek mythology. Why isn't this awesome? Seriously, you take 2 of the biggest gods from 2 different mythologies and have them duke it out, but somehow make it feel as bland as everything else in this movie? How do you screw this up? And not only that, as we move toward the end, it feels like production value declined. Like everyone that worked on this just said fuck it and gave up. But I don't blame them. This movie is so painful to sit through, just reviewing it hurts. So you know what? I'm fed up with this movie too. I'm gonna get us out of here as fast as possible. Loki breaks the world, then he kidnaps Midas's wife so he can make her love him. Why? Because shut up, that's why. But luckily Manticore is able to stop him by using her ability to transform to become a being more powerful than Loki. Because apparently she can do that. Loki is defeated, they return to Zeus via yet another terrible video effect, and he sends them all home, but Manticore can't hold in all the evil spirits, so she sacrifices herself to seal them away and save everyone. Truly a noble sacrifice.
This cannot be happening!
Manticore gave herself so that the entities would be contained once more.
Oh yeah, we're here too, somehow.
How did I even get here, son?
Manticore? She's used her transling powers to rejuvenate.
Bullshit! That's it, I'm done. This is one of the worst things I've ever sat through. Less coherent than Food Fight, more enraging than Darkstalkers, dumber than Hammerman, and while it wasn't as offensive as Robin and the Dreamweavers, it was still somehow harder to sit through. So, fun fact, this wasn't the only time Siegfried and Roy were made into a cartoon. They were also in the NBC sitcom Father of the Pride. I'm the only one that remembers this exists, aren't I? Well, I don't remember much about it besides that it mainly focused on a family of lions that worked in their magic show. But at least it portrayed Siegfried and Roy as what they are. Las Vegas magicians. It didn't involve all this weird crap. But ignoring the absurdity of Siegfried and Roy being in it, this movie is a disaster. Incoherent storytelling, bad visual effects, a clusterfuck of literary references that don't have any purpose, and bizarre design choices that might seem interesting at first but eventually become an eyesore. But the one thing that hurts the most was the total waste of such great voice talent that went into this. You know your movie is bad when almost all the voice actors are not credited to the characters they played. And like I said, they were clearly giving it their all, but even they couldn't save this movie from sucking. Siegfried and Roy, Masters of the Impossible, is impossible to enjoy. And that caps off the Fantasy Obscurathon. Why do we always gotta end on something bad? Oh well, at least I never have to deal with this again. Well, thanks for joining me on this journey through obscure fantasy movies, but I think we need to wash away some of the bad those last few films left behind. So join me next time as I talk about my top 10 favorite DC animated movies. Don't miss it. Siegfried and Roy, Masters of the Impossible, is impossible to enjoy. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only DVD copy in existence. I'd like to remind everyone that this movie is based on 2 Las Vegas magicians. Goddamn. Why did I have to get sick? Why now? When Channel Awesome is watching me.